All right. So, where are we going to get into first? Trump backseat on Jeep. Let's swing Epstein. I like that one. I like that. I like that. I like that. All right, where we gonna go? Well, I guess we all gonna. We can talk about Trump a little bit. We can talk about Trump a little bit in the form of the Swifties. So before we get into the Swifties, or should I say, we're gonna get into Miss Taylor Swift. So, and my whole thing is, I don't understand why they seem to think this is Al Qaeda. This is just my hops. I don't know why they think this shit is Al Qaeda. I just don't understand why. But Taylor Swift. So the third teenager in custody over a foiled attack on Taylor Swift's show in Vienna. So if you don't know, there's a supposed bomb plot that was going to happen in Vienna at one of her shows in Vienna, into which this 19-year-old and a couple other kids were pretty much planning on bombing the event. And they were also going to commit suicide after the fact. So let's just, instead of me doing any reading.
We are continuing to follow breaking news in our World Lead. 3 upcoming Taylor Swift concerts in Vienna, Austria have been canceled after Austrian authorities arrested 2 suspects who they say had plans to carry out a terrorist attack at the concert site. That's according to the promoter for the show. So let's bring in CNN security correspondent, former FBI counterterrorism agent Josh Campbell, as well as CNN senior national security analyst Julia Kayyem. Josh, what do we know about these 2 suspects who were arrested, and what kind of attack they were allegedly planning?
Yeah, Jake, so this reporting comes from our colleague Zahid Mahmood in London. Essentially what police are saying is that these 2 individuals were arrested in connection with an alleged terror plot. Singer Taylor Swift obviously has her large-scale touring events that were scheduled to take place. 3 of those concerts have been canceled due to this potential threat. What we're learning from authorities is that one of these suspects is a 19-year-old man that authorities believe was radicalized online and it pledged some type of allegiance to the so-called Islamic State. And of course, all of us who've covered these terrorism cases over the last, decade, 2 decades, know that this is the playbook that these terror groups often go to, is trying to find people online. It's much more difficult, much more risky for them to gather operatives to send places, a lot easier for them to try to use the internet to try to radicalize people. It looks as though at least...
Now, it is also in the government's playbook to make us think that it's some damn Islamic terrorists that don't actually exist, a la Osama bin Laden. Okay, it's a lot of motherfuckers I can think of that y'all try to make us think exist that don't. Thus, the CIA is ISIS, and being that they did this shit, I think I'm gonna do that one day. We're gonna go down that rabbit hole and break down how ISIS is the CIA. So I get annoyed, like heavily annoyed, whenever I hear the Al Qaeda bullshit. Like I really do. Knowing that the fucking CIA is ISIS. That part just bothers me hearing every time. It's probably climate change activist because of her jet usage, unless she's another traffic star. No, so here's my thing, right? I'm gonna let the clip go. It's not necessarily Al Qaeda, as much as this shit is just them trying to. It's all the bad guys, right? It's more so them trying to sabotage Taylor Swift, because Taylor Swift is pro Kamala. She's pro Democrat. So this is more of a thing. Excuse me. This is more of a thing where she's not complying. She's one of the more bigger stars. She's the biggest star in music right now. Being that Drake is the fuck out of here, she's the biggest star in music right now. So being that the biggest star in music is publicly and vocally siding with Kamala Harris, and the government doesn't necessarily want, anybody publicly, if you notice, siding with Kamala Harris. Now you have the Beyonce Taylor Swift thing happening, but think about this. How loud have they been promoting that? You have to also put that into perspective. How loud have they actually promoted that? They haven't promoted that at all, really. It's just been hearsay. So when Taylor Swift is doing her own thing willy nilly, saying that she's anti Trump and doing her own little thing with the Swifties, they don't necessarily like that.
According to police, that is what is happening here. And finally, as we look at a concert venue, obviously that has itself a potential symbolic type of attribute to it. We've seen in the past that there have been
that part, Fury B. She owns all of her shit. She's independent right now and the biggest music star. Now, let's also think about this. Yes, she owns all her shit. She owns her masters, but she is an Interscope artist.
large-scale concerts in Europe that were attacked. It was obviously back in May of 2017, a bombing at a concert where singer Ariana Grande was performing. Obviously, in 2015 in Paris, there were a number of events there, including the stadium that was attacked as well. And so anytime you have people that are gathering in these large-scale venues, that could be a potential terrorist threat. And then finally, it's worth noting that we've seen at many concerts, including with Taylor Swift, that you can actually protect the inside. You can send people through metal detectors and the like, but these concerts often have large gatherings outside as well. So a lot of risk there, especially when you have a potential plot underway. Here, the concert promoter opting to cancel all of these concerts, Jake.
And Juliet, more than 50,000 people were expected to attend Swift's shows each night in Vienna. How do authorities manage to keep events at this scale safe?
So generally, it's just the typical layer defense. We always like a specific place, a specific time, because it is a way that you can then sort of layer your resources, whether it's surveillance on the outside, metal detectors on your way in, police officers, drones. Just think of sort of your regular mega event planning. As you know, it's just at the Olympics. It's the same thing. You just got like lots and lots of capacity. So I want to tell you sort of my, having been in this field, two things happened, or two things went into the calculation of why they decided to cancel. Either the Taylor Swift people were not getting enough information from public authorities and public and law enforcement officials to feel satisfied that not only the crowd was protected, but certainly Taylor Swift was protected. Or they were told information and it was scary enough that they decided we're just going to sort of let things subside for a little bit. We certainly don't know the nature of the planning, how far along it was. Was it a bunch of guys just talking and trying to collect things, or was it very serious? But for her to cancel and all the rippling effects that.
So here's the thing, right? Her canceling everything is pretty much her being cautious. Okay, it's being cautious as well as it is being proactive to her fans, because I'm pretty sure now her team has given her some type of insight to what I just was also talking about. What up, Malcolm? What it do, my brother? Yes, we're gonna get into Mr. Big U later on. I call him Big U Liar U. That's what I call Big U right now. Tado, what it do? What it do? She's with the BS till she's channeling with all her concerts. She's been performing spells and magic, so best believe she all with this. Yes. So yes, as far as that goes, in that side of the music industry, yes, Taylor is definitely one of those. I wouldn't be surprised if she's part reptilian. She's just probably one of the good reptilians, if there is one. But Taylor Swift is pretty much under attack. And this is just my hops. She's pretty much under attack by whoever is, helping with the Heritage Foundation. She's pretty much under attack by the Heritage Foundation, who's funding Project 2025. Reason why I say that is because she's also been promoting she's been, shall I say, loud about being anti-Project 2025. So that's another thing. So look at this here, right? This is the Trump shares fake Swifties for Trump images. So apparently, former President Donald Trump shared AI-generated images of women wearing "Swifties for Trump" T-shirts to his Truth Social account on Sunday, including a satirical post that claimed Taylor Swift fans were turning to Trump after security concerns forced the cancellation of her Vienna concerts earlier this month. See what I mean? So following the cancellation of it, now all of a sudden he's making it look like she's pro-Trump. This is what I'm saying. They try to make it. They try to even go the Al Qaeda route, but clearly it was someone else that was trying to do that. Clearly it was someone else doing that. Like, yeah, you have them radicalized, but guess what? Matthew Crooks was supposedly radicalized, wasn't he? He was supposedly radicalized by anti-Trumpers, right? So don't give me the Al Qaeda bullshit lie when I know it's something else different. Trump captioned the post, "I accept," and shared screenshots of 4 Twitter posts that show women wearing Swifties for Trump t-shirts, as well as a fabricated image of Taylor Swift that reads, "Taylor wants you to vote for Donald Trump." Swift has not endorsed a presidential candidate in this election, but endorsed President Joe Biden and Vice President Kamala Harris in the 2020 race. Swift has previously been critical of Trump, including for his comments during the Black Lives Matter protests that followed the murder of George Floyd in 2020. So one of the Twitter posts Trump included, which showed several women, hold on, with these ads here. Pardon me, with the ads from CBS News. So this is the shirts here. As you can see here, the Swifties turning to Trump after ISIS foiled Taylor Swift concert. See what I mean? Like, shit is all forced. It's all forced. The Heritage Foundation fed a bullshit story to the news about Al Qaeda. Or should I say that them working hand in hand, so we got a bullshit story about Al Qaeda. Just so they can do this. And of course, Taylor Swift was not feeling that, and now they're talking about she's threatening to possibly sue, because she can actually sue. That's the only thing. She can actually sue for this. Heritage is CIA, yeah. Pretty much. Heritage is also CIA. That's what I'm saying. Everybody's connected as far as this goes. This wasn't no fucking Al Qaeda. That's just my thing. This was not Al Qaeda that did this with Taylor Swift. For that, and that's why I waited a couple of days. I want to see, okay, what are you trying to alley-oop yourself for? Because you're not just going to have a bomb threat and then nothing else happens after that. So then we get this bullshit that Trump shares fake Swifties for Trump images.